Hollow
Falcon
Scholar.
Wrath Aristocrat? That is a jam.
Dude, he's lighting him up. So
Abrupt Decay, your Manus Rider. Spell Queller.
yeah. Oh no, like that's a bad beat.
That's a jam.
Yeah, he's just playing basically all the colors,
It's like
all the
a
best
sweet-
creatures. This is
He
like
plays
the
4 voices too.
it's like the standard heavy hitters.
And this is
like deck list.
Lucas Molho.
Yep,
Playing
and then-
this deck, and his opponent is Alex Schmidt. Alex is a good dude. I know him from Kingston. We've played locally with him for a while. He's playing Burn.
The old burn strategy, dude. He's gonna be playing some Goblin Druids. This seems like a pretty. It'll definitely be over pretty fast.
Red white burn in the style of Jerry T with inspiring vantages and no main deck green cards.
But he has
And just-
Destructive Revelry and a Tarkus command in the sideboard.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Jinx, you owe me a Red Bull.
Oh man.
USA.
Yeah, I think this will be a pretty quick match. We're not gonna have a lot of turns.
And it looks like we're down to the match. That's good.
Yeah. So let's see. Lucas played a fetch land, or I'm sorry, some Pillar to Parents into Tide Hollow Scholar.
It looks like 2 pillars into Tide Hollow Scholar taking
I can't tell what he took.
the glares.
It's hard to tell. And Alex led on a Monastery Swiftspear and a Monastery Swiftspear Lava Spike.
Which is a good opening. When we see two 1-drops plus a burn, plus the third 1-drop being a burn spell, it's a great opening for burn, and one of the ways that burn will kill you while you still have a bunch of cards in your hand. And I don't think Pillar of the Parents can be used to cast Abrupt Decay, correct?
They cannot. I do not believe so, actually. No, actually, I think it casts all multicolor spells. That's what it
only
says.
multicolored
Yeah.
spells?
Oh,
it casts Kitchen Finks. Okay.
Kitchen Finks for Lucas. That's a pretty big boon for him, so he's going to gain some life, go up
Definitely
to...
battling back here.
Yeah, he's going to go up to 14 life, coming in with a Tide Hollow Scholar, mostly just because he can't really block with it.
I like the attack because, it's hiding something underneath it, so you're probably not going to block with it. And, it's likely that Alex has a spell in his hand, and any spell he casts makes it not a favorable block anyway. And if he doesn't have any spells, then Finks is going to be plenty good enough to hold down the fort either way. So I like the attack with Scholar. Also, you just can't take it with you. You got to battle,
Right, absolutely.
This is also an aggressive deck, so.
Yeah, he's trying to race. That's what he's trying to set up. Attacks from Alex. Lucas moves to block with his Kitchen Finks.
This would be a great spot for an Atarkus command with +1/+1.
Yeah.
And you can't gain a lot. I guess it would be +1/+1 and 3 damage because that's actually more than the life gain.
Mm-hmm. But now, so the Swiftspears already have 1 prowess trigger on them from the second Lava Spike cast by Alex. So these are going to be 2/3s, and I assume coming from this spell, we're going to have 3/4s.
If this is a Boros Charm or a Searing Blaze, it's a good spot. Unfortunately, we went down to the match right after the Scholar resolution. Looked at his hand, so I don't know what his card is.
So Lucas falls to 7 life here after this. He falls to 4 life. I'm sorry, after this Boros Charm.
It was a Boros Charm. Yeah, it's perfect sequencing by Alex here. But he's going to go back up. He's going to gain 2.
So the Kitchen Finks persist, goes back up to 6. Now we've
Lucas
got a
has
4th land from Lucas.
A powerful strategy employing 4 copies of Siege Rhinoceros that could hit the battlefield.
That's what we're looking for right here.
You know
Siege Rhino
how-
is like the real saving grace right now.
How the boat noises have been popularized by the SCG coverage.
Yeah.
I've been doing some rhino noises just in my life. When I encounter a siege rhino when I'm playing Magic or whatever, I was like,
That is the noise it makes. So let's see. Lucas passes. It seems like he's gonna leave up a Spellcrawler here for whatever Alex has.
I like this, but I think he's definitely towing the line. He basically has to spell queller any spell that Alex casts.
Yeah, he just needs to use his mana.
But he's also right on the fair side of stabilizing too, because Alex's life total is not a it's not a factor. It is a factor. It's possible that.
Oh, so now we finally can see what cards were under the Tide Hollow Scholar. So Tide Hollow Scholar has a Swiftspear underneath it, and now the Spellcrawler has a Searing Blaze underneath it.
Yep.
So now the 2/3 will check one of the Swiftspears, and the 2/1 Kitchen Finks I assume will block. It's pretty unsafe to not block here. So Lucas is pretty incentivized to block.
What if you double block?
I don't hate a double block, but I think you just have to preserve your life total. You're at 6 right now, so you're 2 burn spells. Your opponent's only at 10, so we got a Mantis Rider off the top from Lucas. That's going to speed up the clock a little bit. Just, like, hopefully just enough for him. So he can kind of race back. So Mantis Rider comes down.
Mantis Rider does a great job of blocking and attacking, which is why Mantis Rider was pretty good against the old burn red decks in Standard.
It put a clock on him too, so you could, if you just interacted with 1 or 2 spells, you kind of could get the game over.
It was like the one thing that like was good against Eidolon and Searing Blood.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Lucas is representing lethal next turn because Alex falls to 3. So this is a Lava Spike, putting Lucas down to 3, and then we got a block on one of the Swift Spears. I think this puts Lucas to 1.
Which is not 0. I
which
think
is
Lucas
not
is
0.
Take this
That's
on
a
the
lot more.
crackback. Yep.
And now Lucas has lethal in the crackback. That's kind of the role that Lucas has to play, right? His cards are a little bit more expensive, but they hit harder.
And we're
So we'll cut back up for sideboarding really
two
quick.
beautiful faces.
Oh, the most beautiful.
In the booth here.
Let's take a look at these sideboards. So Lucas,
Dude, I love your eyebrows. Sorry.
Thank you.
We're good.
They're on,
I didn't mean to just derail the broadcast here.
They're on fleek, is the
They
kids
are
say.
on fleek.
So Lucas has some Tide All colors. I assume he's going to bring in some Kitchen Fiends, another Spell Queller. I don't think he's going to bring in the Fulminator Mages, or he actually probably wants the Sin Collector as well. He has a Sigarda Host of Herons in the sideboard too, but that's probably not for this matchup. He's got some Stony Silences.
Is that the Avacyn Restored one? The original one?
Yeah, that's the 5/5 flying.
The one that says like flying hexproof. You can't sacrifice creatures or abilities.
Your opponents can't make you sacrifice them.
Okay, but the other one gives. Does the
other one gives you hexproof.
You and humans hexproof? Yeah, that one is dope. That one.
Yeah, I wonder. That one would actually be pretty good in the matchup.
Sigarda Heron's Grace.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
That's a sweet one.
That was a cool one. So Alex's sideboard, he's got 4 Path, 3 Target's Command, a Pithy Needle, 3 Deflecting Palm, 4 Destructive Reverie. So I assume he's gonna bring in some amount of Path to Exiles. And maybe like 1 or 2 Deflecting Palms?
0 basic. Oh, there's 1 forest in Lucas's deck.
Yeah.
1 forest.
That's, I guess, to get with Path to Exile. So
I think that it probably should be a Plains. I'm not 100% sure though.
It's hard to tell. I mean, who knows what's going on with this
Well, just because it doesn't cast Mantis Rider.
Yeah, but he has birds and nobles, so he probably wants to cast Pain Freeze sometimes.
Yeah,
But
sure.
Having a basic in your deck and like your no fetch land deck is kind of weird.
But like the one basic is not there to cast stuff on turn 1. It's there
To get with Path
to
to
get
Exile.
with Path to Exile,
Yeah.
and at that point you're not really casting mana creatures anymore.
No, that's fair.
Which
That's
is why I
reasonable.
think it should be a Plains, because every creature, with the exception of Walking Wrath Aristocrat and the mana creatures, can get cast off of Plains.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's a reasonable argument.
Like they can path your birds that you cast off of whatever, and you get forest, and you're not even closer to casting Mantis Rider. Like you didn't get mana from the birds or whatever.
No, I gotcha. Do you think that Alex is incentivized to bring in a Tarkus command here, just to help his guys fight better? I mean, we saw that game. Like
I like Path, and I like a Tarkus command. Yeah, I mean there were a lot of good spots for a Tarkus command in that game. We have to be careful to like be results oriented or whatever.
No,
but
I
I
agree.
do think that a Tarkus command is probably in a decent spot.
because it like Lucas is gonna have to block. You know what I mean? He doesn't. His deck is literally just mono creatures.
I think
it's
he
all
could-
creatures, so he's gonna have to block a little bit.
It's possible he just wants to have as many Skullcrack effects as possible.
Because Lucas, he saw Kitchen Feints, he assumes there's more Kitchen Feints on the board. Like, if Alex ever played against a deck similar to this, there's going to be some Siege Rhinos. So we got players drawing their opening hands. Alex is in the play this game, which is a pretty big...
Would you ever consider boarding out like Swift Spears and Guides?
I would probably, in this matchup, I would probably trim on the play on the 1-drops. And then on the
Okay.
draw, I would probably trim on Eidolons.
All right.
I think that's generally the swap that burn players make. So
Sure.
we've got a keep from both players. Both players kept 7. Alex Schmidt led on Mountain, Monsters, Swift Spear. So Lucas falls to 19.
So we're not really sure if he trimmed on that or not. We see a Path in Lucas's hand. So
Yeah, Lucas has a nice handle. It's like he's got a Noble Hierarch and a pretty solid curve of creatures. He might only have one land,
4
though.
main deck paths.
Leading in the Gemstone Mine's a little bit awkward for him, because that's not going to be there forever. So Alex plays Arid Mesa.
I mean, also though, you're leading with Noble Hierarch too. So if you cast 3 spells, you probably win this game, right? If you cast 3 relevant spells, it doesn't really matter that
No,
your Gemstone
absolutely.
Mine
If they're
is
all
dead.
Kitchen Feints, it seems fine.
Yeah.
So Alex cracked fetch down to 17.
Also,
after
he
the
has
shock off his
another
Trumpet Crown.
gemstone and another mana dork, so I think he'll be able to.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. I do understand what you're saying though. Reasonable argument for sure.
So Searing Blaze on
Oh,
the
that's
mana
the
dork.
opening.
Yeah, that's the opening that kind of is the dream for the burn deck against
Mm-hmm.
a creature deck with the mana darts. So Lucas falls to 19, or he falls to 17 off of the Searing Blaze, and then
If Alex had not played into Spell Queller, he might have won game 1 as well too.
Yeah,
if
honestly.
he had cast the Serum Blaze the turn that he cast the Lightning Bolt,
Mhm.
like then he would have been able to.
So Lucius leads with a second Gemstone Mine into Noble
So he's going
Hierarch.
to tap both Gemstone Mines, so that's why he tapped the one on with less counters. I was
Yeah.
like, why would you tap that one? And then
So-
he immediately tapped the other one too.
So we got a Burden Noble. Lucius is trying to set up his mana here, and Alex is just trying to keep tearing through. His Swiftspear has good attacks, so we'll definitely see that come in this turn. No spell proactively, so that makes me think he has some like Skullcrack effects. Lucius falls to.
This is a
13.
real good spot for Siege Rhino from Lucas.
Yeah, this
And if
Eidolon
he
is gonna
has
be
it,
pretty tough.
We're
He's gonna be
see
pretty
him
bottled
not
up.
wait too long. He does not have it though. He has a couple
Lucius's
copies of
hand's
Kitchen
pretty solid
Finks.
though. He's got
Yep.
Path, Kitchen Finks, Mantis Rider. That's a pretty solid hand. So I assume he'll lead on the Path on the Eidolon, and then play a Kitchen Finks.
Makes sense. Still a net zero though, right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean
you-
Eidolon's doing 2 damage here, and then the Kitchen Finks will get him back. But now the Kitchen Finks can check the.
they
Swiftspear.
should grab that Eidolon because it is exiled.
Yep. Yeah.
Not a huge deal is that I don't think there's any Tarmogoyfs in this deck, but we'll get the table judge on that.
Absolutely. And now Lucius, it's kind of interesting. Does Lucius want to go Mantis Rider or Kitchen Finks here? Because he gets to 4 his opponent this turn, so I don't hate either. I think you want a Finks here just to get it in under a Skullcrack effect.
If I was gonna play Mantis Rider, I would not have Path Eidolon. I would have just played Mantis Rider, taken the damage, and
Okay, so Lucius
I
plays the
think
Kitchen
playing
Finks.
Finks here. I think this is the safer play, and I would probably this is probably what I would have done as well.
Absolutely. So Lucius will go back up to 13. Another Swiftspear from Schmidt,
Another Serum
which
Blaze.
now is getting checked by
Oh, he's
the
got a
Finks.
target. He's repping a Target's Command super hard, and he does have it.
Oh, so there's a Skullcrack. Okay.
It's
So
pretty good.
this will put it. I assume Lucius blocked. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, he blocked. He pushed his finger toward it. So the Skullcrack is gonna the Swift Spear will trade with the Finks, and Lucas will take 5 damage. He won't gain life.
Mm-hmm. But we will get one of these Swiftspears off the board.
Yeah. A little bit of confusion about if the Swift Spear was trading or not, but that's okay.
Yeah, this is definitely the spot that.
Whoa!
we
The
switched
satellite cam.
We got the way top down. So we
I
can
like
still,
this. This is cool.
We can still kind of see those. So we have Lucius draws and untaps for turn. So I assume we'll
He
see
drew a
Kitchen Finks.
Spellcaller.
But he's drew a Spellcaller, which is pretty interesting. I think you just want to jam the Finks here and just keep hitting them.
Yeah, I think you jam the Finks here. Once you committed to jamming the Finks last turn, you're really not pressing the gas pedal down that hard. You're just going to try to grind him out.
Yeah, I mean he's creating a decent clock here. He's got a Finks plus a Noble Hierarch coming in, and we've got some damage going on. And I assume the Kitchen Finks will come down here. This is the spot against Burn where you just want to get your life gain effects in.
It's
while you
really
can.
difficult for most burn draws to beat double Kitchen Finks.
Yeah, I mean one of them got
Interaction.
Skullcracks on like the persist, but even then it's still
Yeah, but like
tough.
he just used all his resources to do that, and he's still, not much the wiser.
No, absolutely. So we've got 15 to 10, I believe, for life totals.
I see 13, 17. I guess it's been updated since then. Yeah.
So this pillar deck is pretty interesting. It has it kind of has the goods, right? It's to play all the colors. So
There's Lavamancer. Lavamancer, I think, is really good on this board if he can live long enough.
Lavamancer and Eidolon is pretty interesting. Now, this is kind of tough for Lucius. I mean, Lucius might be winning on board, but the Lavamancer is the kind of card that can grind through these Kitchen Finks.
You know what I want to do with that Eidolon?
Light it up.
Block with it.
Block with it? Probably.
Trade with something.
Yeah, I guess.
Just have a lot of spells or cards in my graveyard and try to grind through that with that Lavamancer. This
So,
Mantis Rider is going to be problematic.
so we had a little bit of technical difficulties with
We
the
are in
camera.
all sorts of bizarre Skycam mode. But
Yeah.
I really want to see how this game ends because it's an interesting one for sure.
So, what do you think about this pillar deck in the format? I think it's
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 interesting.
it's fringe for sure, but I think,
there's a hive mind about it, right? Like
Mhm.
if it was one of the best options, it's likely that it would have rose to the top as one of the best options.
absolutely. I mean, for sure.
I think it's like a defensible deck to rock once in a while, and it has a niche, a fair niche, and it can do some good things.
Mhm.
But overall, I think that it's just a little too linear, but not in a broken enough way. It's linear in the way that it plays creatures that are good on rate, and it plays them slightly ahead of schedule. But there's decks that do that and just have such flexibility to them, like Abzan Company. I think this is a worse Abzan Company deck and like a worse banned Eldrazi deck, if that makes sense.
No, I think that's reasonable.
It does both of those things. Like, it diverges on the axes that both of those decks are on, but it does both of those things in a slightly more fair, mopier way.
Right, like...
My apologies to Lucas, of course. I think his deck is sweet.
I think this deck is cool.
I dig it,
I mean,
but that's my take.
I agree with you that, like, the deck is all one type of card, right? It's all creatures, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you're gonna build your deck in which you're only to be able to do one thing, like, this thing isn't the fastest thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, you could be playing lava spikes and stuff.
Doing things that other people are already doing.
Right, absolutely. So now we're back down to the match. So we've got Lucas. It seems like he played a Falkenrath Aristocrat on the follow-up.
It's pretty likely that Alex can never beat this Falkenrath Aristocrat.
Yeah, I don't think he can kill it. And also, this Falkenrath Aristocrat can just sacrifice these Kitchen Feints at any time to gain some life and kind of flex. Now we've got a Skullcrack on Lucas's end step, it looks like. I think we passed a full turn cycle, but I'm not positive. So now Alex draws for turn. His opponent's at 8 life. So he's got some draws to kill him, but with the Falkenrath Aristocrat, like, being able to sacrifice the Kitchen Feints at any time, Lucas is at a virtual 10. So 10's kind of a hard number. And
also, he
Alex
can
only has 2
sacrifice the Noble Hierarch for lethal damage.
Yep.
Oh, Alex is at 3 now. He can definitely sacrifice Noble Hierarch for lethal damage. Or he wouldn't even have had to. I mean, before he would have been able to sacrifice the Noble Hierarch because it's a human to put a counter on Aristocrat. Which, by the way, I didn't even know was a thing. I mean, I did because I played that standard format.
Yeah, that format was sweet.
But like, I forgot it was a thing, and I had a Simic Sky Swallower, and my opponent had a Falkenrath Aristocrat, and he was like, attack, and I was like, all right, block. And he was like, all right, sack my 2 Burning Tree Emissaries. Your dude's dead. I'm like, oh.
This is like, what format was this?
Modern Masters 2017 Draft.
Okay.
The best format.
That is a good format.
It's a sweet format.
So Lucas comes across, and I think if we're gonna see the handshake here, I don't think he can clear this Falkenrath Aristocrat.
Oh, you know what he could do? He could give his creatures reach.
He could give his creatures reach.
If he had a Tarkus command plus Lightning Bolt, he would have been able to.
So Lucas takes it down.
Looking for fun, informative Magic the Gathering analysis? Look no further than Kirwan'sGameStore.com. Team KGS has the best writers and content providers this side of Kaladesh. Whether you're looking for standard, modern, vintage, tournament reports, or deck techs, Team KGS will give you the insight and analysis to help with your Magic game. Check out Kirwan'sGameStore.com weekly for new videos and articles and see why KGS is the best place in gaming.